Good afternoon. It's now 5:30. I'd like to call the October 27th, 2025 Calhoun County Council meeting to order. Ms. Rebecca, would you give us a hand, please?
Let us pray. Dear Father, as we gather to serve and make decisions for our community, grant us wisdom and compassion. Guide our discussions and actions that we may prioritize the well-being of all the citizens. May this meeting be productive and respectful. Amen.
Amen.
We have a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Did anybody sign for public comment?
We don't have any.
Nobody? Okay. Thank you. Okay. We're now in a public hearing on ordinance 2025-20, third reading. An ordinance to amend the Calhoun County Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 4, Boards and Commission, Division 6, Regional Medical Center of Orangeburg in Calhoun County. We're now in a public hearing. Hearing no comments, we are out of the public hearing on ordinance 2025-20. We have a motion for approval, third reading on ordinance 2025-20.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Okay. Motion for approval of the September 22nd, 2025 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Motion for approval of the October 14th special call meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Under appointments, we have some vacancies on the Calhoun County Museum Board, District 1, District 5 at large, and the Zoning Appeals Board, District 1. We actually not going to act for any appointments, is that right? I think
Yes,
what
sir.
we,
And
they'll
also,
be on the
Mr. Chairman,
website.
I forgot to add that there's also a planning commission member for Vice Chairman Thornton's thing, but we would just ask that anybody that's interested in serving on any of these boards, go to the county's website and look at match board. You can fill out an application there and submit for any boards that you're interested in participating in.
What we'll let them do is sign up for it, and the councilman in them particular districts can get with those particular individuals and see. What we're trying to do is make sure we get quality people now on these boards. While we have a chance.
So nobody has applied for any of these?
Yes.
And we-
Okay.
And we can check the website ourselves, right? Should it be on there if they apply for it, or do we have to check with you?
I'll get notifications whenever someone applies for any of the
Okay.
positions. I'll get a notification, and I can download their application as well as any other documentation they have.
At the same time, you can tell somebody to apply, if you want out of your district, so we're not holding you up from doing that.
And I've got one more from District 1 as well, that's sending a resignation as well, and I've got somebody else who's going to be applying for that one as well.
Okay. We'll try to make some of these appointments at the next meeting. Lower Savannah Council of Government also have some appointments coming up. We're trying to wait until after the local elections, because some of those folks are on those boards. And elected officials, once their term is up, they're automatically off the Lower Savannah board. The other people who we have who are not elected can remain on the board. But elected officials, once they, if they lose their election, well, they're off the board. And so we thought after this election, we'll have the next meeting and we'll make those appointments. We kind of have those in place, but we'll wait until after the municipal elections. Okay. We have a proclamation coming from Calhoun County First Step, parents as teachers.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Whereas the concepts of parents as teachers, PAT, developed in the early 1970s is an evidence-based parent education and support program designed to empower parents as their child's first teachers, and whereas research shows that greater parent involvement is a critical link in the child's development of learning skills, including reading and writing, and whereas PAT helps parents understand their child's development and connects them to the resources they need to make the best choices for their family, and whereas PAT and their local affiliates help build strong communities, thriving families, and children that are healthy, safe, and ready to learn by matching parents and caregivers with trained professionals who make regular personal home visits during a child's earliest years in life, from prenatal through kindergarten. And whereas PAT helps children to develop, learn, and grow to realize their full potential. Now therefore, Calhoun County Council does hereby proclaim November 8, 2025 as National Parents as Teachers Day, and encourages parent-teacher organizations and families in Calhoun County to join forces to support children and the community in their educational goals.
Okay, may I have a motion that we approve the proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Under new business, we have a discussion on Wild Rose Lane. Richard, you want to comment?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So as you all, we've had some communication over this. This was a request to close a section of Wild Rose Lane. It's actually a SCDOT road. There's been quite a bit of public outcry against the proposal to close the road. I'm sure most of y'all have been contacted by somebody in relation to it. And so what we did is we asked the county attorney to request that if we needed to, the county council could, it's a request to intervene in it. And so we're not sure right now at this point whether or not it's actually going to end up in court. This is the process that actually goes to court. It's been filed at the clerk of court's office. Whether or not they go through with it or not, if they do, then what council can do is either vote to support the request or support the citizens' request to keep it open. And so that's what this discussion is tonight. In case it does end up going to court, something that we can go ahead and council can make a decision one way or another, either to support it, support keeping it open, or support closing it. And that way, if it does go to court, then we'll have something from council to do so.
We don't have to take any action tonight, do we?
No, sir,
We
you
can-
do not.
But if you all like, we could, but if you don't, we can hold up until what happens in the courts.
Well,
We may not,
what you would need to do is before it actually goes to court,
Yeah.
If you make a decision tonight, then if it does pop up and get a court date, we don't anticipate it gets a court date anytime soon, but if it did, and we didn't have a regular scheduled meeting, then we would just have to have a special call meeting in order to do so.
do you know the length of time if it would get a court date, how much time we would have? You don't have any idea what?
So if they set a court date, I can't imagine that we wouldn't have time to do it, but you just don't know. They would have to really declare like an emergency thing, and I think at this point in time, just based on what I'm hearing, it's absolutely not. I'm not making a statement on anybody's behalf, but it could be a substantial amount of time. I think it would be okay to wait till the next council meeting if you chose to do so.
And then we actually don't have to take a position at all if you don't like it. I
If you
just
choose not to
explained
take a
that to you.
position at all.
You want, we can.
Yeah. I know there's been quite a bit of outcry. There's a petition online that's generated, last time, well over 400 signatures to do so. But
Yep.
yes, council could choose to support it, oppose it, or not make a statement whatsoever.
Well, I'll say, if I can speak,
Go ahead, speak.
I'll say I've gotten enough phone calls about it. I'm gonna support to leave it open. Everywhere I turn, people have called me about leaving it open. For transportation to work, back and forth to work, fire protection, number of different reasons. So whenever we do, my statement, as one of the members of this council, will be to keep it open.
So what's the council, would you like to wait until we vote?
Yeah, we can wait.
We can wait, but I just want,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
that's
okay,
my
yeah.
direction
Okay.
because of the amount of phone calls I've received about it. And like you said, I thought I'd heard over 500 signatures, but I hadn't seen that officially. But there's quite a few people in this county that are
If you'd
wanting to
like,
keep
we
it
can
open.
Put it on the agenda, the next agenda at the council meeting if you'd like, as an
Yeah.
action item.
We can actually keep it on the agenda if you like for right now.
Okay.
And once we see this,
If we-
if we need be, or if we would like to, then we could, vote on it
Okay.
there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, next on the new business, we have a change order request, for water line at Red Rock Fire Station.
Yes, sir, so this is the fire station at Red Rock's substantially complete. Actually, this is the last item. We had to change the direction that we were gonna get water from. The water line running up K Avenue is actually the supply line for Carolina Halpec. And so we had to extend the water line up 176, and it's taken quite a long time to get through the old now DES process to get that permitted. We finally got that straight, and so this is an approval to get that water line done by the contractor of record.
Okay. We need a motion for approval
Yes,
of
sir.
that request.
I make a motion, we approve the water line at Red Rock Fire Station.
Second.
Properly moving second that we approve the water line at Red Rock Fire Station. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, the ayes have it. Anything else on the new business?
No, sir.
Nothing else on the new business, we down to ordinances.
Yes, sir. So, first ordinance 2025-21, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of an amended and restated solid waste service agreement with the Three Rivers Solid Waste Authority to extend the term thereof through 2050, update tonnage commitments and increase annual tipping fees, authorizing the issuance by the authority of its revenue bonds in an amount not to exceed $30 million to fund the construction of a new phase and other matters relating thereto. And you should have had with you tonight on there, I didn't get it done in time for Shayla to send it out with your packet, but kind of got a summary really of what's going on. And so on that form there, you know, this is the Three Rivers Solid Waste Authority was established in the 90s. It's at the Savannah River site. There's 9 member counties: Aiken, Allendale, Bamberg, Barnwell, Calhoun, Orangeburg, Edgefield, McCormick, and Saluda. Right now, the current cell that we're using, this is the municipal solid waste, so this is not your C&D, your yard debris, things like that. This is household garbage. Right now, the current cell that's being used is projected to reach its capacity in 2028. And so the Solid Waste Authority, which Vice Chairman Thornton sits on the board there, has been looking at this, and they've run the numbers and gone out and got estimates to open the next cell. And to clarify, this is the Three Rivers Solid Waste Authority that's issuing the bond, doing the borrowing. We do not have a commitment to the bond. We're not responsible for it. The only thing that we are responsible for is our fees. Okay, and then you get down there. Right now, the current user fee for us is $37.30 per ton. You can see in FY25, we did a little over 12,000 tons. The expansion is requiring the following rate increases. So at July 1, 2026, so our next fiscal year, it's an increase of $2.30 per ton, and then $2 per ton an increase for the 4 years after that. Ultimately, the rate would be $48 a ton. And so you see the numbers there in the additional estimated cost. The Three Rivers Board approved a resolution supporting the expansion on September 3rd. It requires a new service agreement and a county ordinance to begin the finance process. And there at the bottom of your sheet, once again, talking about this is language directly from the service agreement, that the agreement and obligations do not constitute a debt of the county or a charge, lien, or encumbrance, legal or equitable, upon any property of the county or any income, receipts, or revenues thereof other than the user's fees.
Okay, could I get a motion, a second, and Cecil, you may want to add something to
Yeah, I got
that. Could I get a motion and a second on that?
So moved.
Probably moving second, and Cecil, you'd like to make some,
Yeah, I've got some, I think there was some miscommunication. Some people might have thought it was going from $37.30 immediately to $48 a ton. That's a gradual increase, in which I voted for it on the board. I voted to go into that bond for that $30 million, because in my opinion, it's still the best deal going. Currently now, 2024, the state average is 56.20 a ton. There are some entities that are at $100 per ton. Those are private. I'm not going to say who those are, but then there's also some counties who are paying $63 a ton currently. Some are in the upper 40s and are going to go to the up in the 50s. So I mean, still, we're way below that. Someone was asking me about it, and I said, well, it's still, I think we're highly vested in that group down there with the Solid Waste Authority. We actually meet at the David K. Summers building when we go down there for board meetings. We've been in it since we were in it when it was created in 1992. So I strongly feel it is definitely the best deal, and it gives us, in a sense, the ability to control our rates to the best of our ability. I mean, it's not operated for free. It does have expenses just like everything else, and we're not in it for profit. It was created to somewhat have control of our own destiny with solid waste. And I still think that's the case in today's terms and will be in the future. So, I'm highly supportive, and I think it's a move in the right direction, because everything's going up in cost, but still, again, we're not in it for profit. It was created so we could control our fees as much as possible, and it's not a for-profit entity. I mean, we could take trash from all over the country. There's places up north needing to send their trash places, their waste. But that's not the idea behind this. I think it was to have a place for many decades to come. So I strongly support this direction.
Any more comments?
I got a question. That's the cost of it being delivered there. That's the cost after it's getting there,
That's the tipping fee we pay across the scale.
when it gets to Aiken.
Yes.
So what is our true cost to get it from here to Aiken as well? Is that a figure that we have? We have any
It is. I don't
idea?
have it in front of me, but
Right.
I do. We actually ran the numbers on that last year when we had a couple entities propose us about wanting to take over our hauling.
Right.
And I believe it was about a 300% increase to hire somebody to do it, so we didn't. I don't remember that number off the top of my head, but I can get it.
So for me, realistically, when we talk about waste, we realistically need to have the cost of it being delivered there, but also our transportation cost needs to be part of that true
We
waste
have-
package that we have.
We have that in our
Okay.
all-in waste
Just-
budget. Yes,
just
sir.
wanna
I
make
don't
sure.
have that number with me. I can get it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Any further comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. Next ordinance, Richard.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 2025-2022, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a purchase and sale agreement by and between Calhoun County, South Carolina, and Project SAM and other matters related thereto. So this is the second reading of the ordinance that we did last time. It's a project, it's got a project code name. At the third reading, you'll have the full information on this, was presented to you in the executive session, and the full information will be public at the third reading.
Okay, we have a motion that we approve second reading on ordinance 2025-22.
So move.
Second.
Properly moving second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, the ayes have it. We're down to appearances. Mr. Bill Thomas, College of Charleston, Calhoun County Strategic Plan. Mr. Thomas.
Good evening.
Hello.
This is my colleague, Dr. Shelby Schumard, who's working with me on this project. All right. So we're only going to take a few minutes of your time tonight, talk about, explain what we're doing, and then the results of a survey that we've done with employees, department heads, and council, and then what we're going to be doing in the future. So in the simplest terms, strategic planning is identifying where you're at right now, envisioning a desired future state where you want the county to go, and the strategic plan is getting from point A to point B. So right now, we are concentrating on determining where we're at right now, the current state of the county, We did do surveys of employees, department heads, and you have, folks had a chance to complete a survey. We're going to take that information, we have a meeting scheduled with department heads in a week or two, and to further analyze the results, we're going to be doing some analysis of stakeholders, things like that. And then once we have all that information about the current state of the county government, we're going to hopefully meet with you in a workshop setting and talk more about that, get your ideas where you want the county to go. And then we'll start working on the vision and mission of the county, what the issues are that you need to address to get from here to there, and what strategies you want to employ to address those issues. That's in a nutshell. Shelby's going to briefly go over the results of the survey. I believe you all got a copy of that, is that true? And then we have one or two questions for you after that.
So I'm going to assume that you all have kind of seen the report, at least opened it up. But I'm going to just hit some of the kind of high points that we found. And so as a reminder, we did a survey of all of your employees, and a good proportion completed it, your department heads, and then each of you. And some of the trends that we kind of saw were that, first off, when we kind of asked y'all about vision and your future goals, there was really the hope for kind of additional economic and population growth, thinking about where the future is while also preserving kind of the best of the county, both the natural resources and some of the rural character here. And so that combined with some of the information we had from the employees, overall the employees were really positive, I would say. You know, there was really high satisfaction and really high, you know, belief in the teamwork and the team that's really present here in the county. That being said, you know, everywhere we have places, areas that we may think about growing in the future from a staffing perspective. Some of the trends we saw, both from kind of the employees and the department heads, was kind of, one was around staffing for critical positions. You know, you have a small staff, it's run really lean, and you have individuals who are very capable, but that also creates opportunities where you could find hard to staff spaces for certain roles. And so thinking about kind of staffing going forward. Compensation was one of the lowest ones, but it benchmarks pretty close to other local governments, and so that's kind of an area that's related to kind of that staffing. And then thinking about going forward around kind of training opportunities and thinking about the role of technology and how that integrates going forward, especially with more technical jobs, were some of the areas highlighted, particularly around some of the employee and department heads as areas, both of strength and areas for kind of thinking about where to go going forward. And so that's kind of from the employee and department head perspective. You all obviously see a bigger vision and a bigger direction of where you all want to go. I noted a moment ago that some of the kind of trends we saw were this hope to continue to see economic population growth, thinking about how to, sorry, that really loud there for a second. Thinking about opportunities to attract tourism, whether that's kind of around some of the natural resources, but also building the strong local workforce, and around really thinking about how you're doing that in a sustainable way, especially with all the natural resources here. And so I'd say those are some of the trends from hoping where to go, thinking about the challenges and headwinds, some of the trends we heard from you all, right, were concerns around how to balance some of the industrialization with some of the preservation of the natural resources in that space. Thinking about balancing kind of housing availability and job creation, balancing those two forces, and then also wanting to really preserve some of the small town character that you have here that's so special. And so I'd say those are some of the trends that kind of had come out, but also concerns and thinking forward. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Bill, but I think one of the things he's hopeful to hear about is kind of your reactions generally.
Any surprises, if you had a chance to look at the results are, like Shelby said, fairly typical of what we see in other local governments in South Carolina. Employee survey, you know, a little more positive than we normally see, which is really good. But the department heads, they're issues with, getting technology that they need and that sort of thing is very typical. Probably difficulty in recruiting if they lose somebody, and, all governments are unfortunately going through that. So, first, any questions and any reactions to the report?
Mr. Thomas, we'll have a chance to go in depth when we have the workshops. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
That-
So I have some questions.
Yeah, and we'd like to
Follow
get,
up on that.
all 5 of you in there, so, to do that.
But if anybody have any questions.
No, I do not currently.
Well, we look forward to working with you, and I think it's gonna be a great project, so we will see you down the road, okay?
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for
Thank
coming.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Y'all drive safe, man, out there, it's kind of messy. Okay, no more appearances. Down to you, Richard.
Yes, sir. And so just kind of following up on Bill's comment there. So we'll have a department head meeting with him and his team, I think on the 12th, that's scheduled. They'll go back and do a lot of their stuff. We'll probably be looking to try to schedule a workshop for 2-3 hours with you guys after the first of the year. He wants to come down and they'll have all their metrics and their data to go through, and it'll be kind of his team and you guys going through that, kind of looking at what the vision and mission and strategic plan is for the county going forward. So there'll be more information as soon as he gets some more summary information. We'll send it back out to you guys. In the meantime, as you go through it, if there's any input or any information or anything that, I did the survey, but should have thought about something else, the survey is still open. Shayla can send it back out, remind you the link again in case you want to go back and look at it again, and you can do that. A couple things real quick. On Friday, we had our industry appreciation tournament. Councilman Carson was able to be there. I think Cecil and Mr. Hagler both were there, and so it was a good turnout. The weather could not have been better. It was a fantastic day. Really an opportunity for us to try to highlight the industries that do a lot for the county. I think they all had a good time. We had a good turnout. One of our newest family members, Construction Source Management, John Kelly and his team were there. I think everybody had a good time, and we just want to once again say thank you to all of the industries that support Calhoun County and the little way that we can give back on that. It was a good time and good fun time had for all. Tomorrow night at the Rec Complex, 6 to 8 is the trunk or treat. This year, EMS and the Rec Department are jointly going together. EMS has been doing it for a number of years, and so they're doing that. So it should be a good time. It'll be on the football field tomorrow night, 6 to 8. As Chairman Hagler mentioned earlier, in passing the town elections, November the 4th, the voter registration director asked that we mention that early voting for the town of St. Matthews and Cameron is open through Friday. Right across the way in the Economic Library Building is where early voting is. And so that early voting is through this Friday, and then the elections are on November the 4th. And that is all I have, Chairman.
Okay, anyone else have anything?
I'd just like to reiterate what Richard said about the golf tournament. I think y'all did a good, Brandy and Shayla did an excellent job putting that thing together. Thank you, John, for that, but I met a lot of industry that I had not met before, and so I just want to say kudos to put it together, and everybody I talked to was very impressed and everything else, and how the golf course is where it was to where it's at, and plans for where it to be. So kudos to y'all getting that together.
Yeah, I second that. All I heard was great things. I also met a lot of the industry leaders, representatives, and that was a great networking opportunity. So I appreciate y'all's hard work.
Yeah, and I will say that all I did was show up, so all the rest of the staff did a great job, Randy and Shayla and all the rest of the team and the golf course, and John even did a little bit. So,
John, yeah, you
we
twisted
appreciate-
some arms to get them
Appreciate
there.
all that, so
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Richard, let me just congratulate y'all too with the John Ford situation. We were having some problems, and I was over there Saturday, and they had 4 different events going. I mean, they had a repast going on from a funeral. They had a fashion show, a talent show in the gym. A class had a a class had something going on in the banquet hall. And another class, the John Ford Association had something going on there, so it was a whole, and then it was, I mean, the whole place was loaded with people, and they really were enjoying themselves, so, good job on what y'all did with that too, appreciate that also.
I'll
Thank you.
pass that on to staff, thank you.
Okay.
One other thing, I just wanted to touch on that, Richard, you had said you had questions about the transportation. We partner with Orangeburg to hauling of the waste over there, so that does help. I think being a partner, being a team with them also helps where we don't just bear that burden on ourselves. And that, is that an annual true up
Yes, sir.
on that? So I mean, that fluctuates due to fuel and everything else, but still, I think even with that, I think it's the best option with the way we move forward, but I just wanted,
Yeah, I knew it went to Orangeburg County landfill and then combined it and
Right.
packed it together and sent a truck, yeah.
so, that we don't, all right, that's it.
Good
That's
deal.
all I have.
Okay, anybody else? All righty.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Probably moving second that we adjourn. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All righty, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.